I'm 74 years old, and my son is a millionaire. He has a corner office on the 32nd floor of a building I can see from my apartment window. I know this because I drove past it last Tuesday, not to visit, just to look. Because if I called the front desk, they would tell me what they told me in 2019, Mr. Park is unavailable for personal calls. That was his secretary saying that to his father. His father. I came to this country in 1978 with my wife, Sung-jin, and $400 in an envelope my mother sewed into my jacket lining. $400. We landed in Los Angeles with one suitcase, 2 sets of clothes, and a baby due in 3 months. That baby was Daniel. We lived in a 1-bedroom apartment on Vermont Avenue, Unit 4B. The carpet was brown, and it smelled like someone else's cooking no matter how much Suni scrubbed. She scrubbed every day. The kitchen counter was the size of a cutting board. The bathroom faucet dripped all night, every night for 2 years. The landlord never fixed it. I got a job at a dry cleaner's on Western Boulevard, 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, pressing other people's suits while my own shirt had a hole in the collar I covered with my tie. That's where I started, ironing shirts for $3.75 an hour in 1979. Let me tell you something about immigrants. We don't come here to be comfortable. We come here to build something so our children never have to feel what we felt. The humiliation of not speaking the language, the shame of not understanding the menu at a restaurant, the fear of every phone call because you don't know if it's a bill you can't pay. We carry all of that, and we convert it into one thing: pressure. We take everything we survived, and we push it into our children like fuel into a rocket, and we aim that rocket straight at the sky. I thought that was love. Daniel came home from 2nd grade one day, 1986. He had a math test. He got a 94. I looked at that paper and I said, "Where are the other 6 points?" I still remember his face. His little face just fell, like someone reached inside his chest and pulled a plug. He was 7 years old. But I didn't stop. I couldn't stop, because in my mind, a 94 meant he was capable of 100. And if he was capable of 100, and I accepted a 94, then I was a lazy father. I was failing him. I was letting him become soft in a country that would chew up soft people and spit them into the gutter. So I pushed harder. Piano lessons Monday through Thursday. Math tutoring on Saturday mornings at Mrs. Chen's house. She charged $20 an hour, which was a lot for us then. Sunday was for SAT prep books I bought used from the swap meet on Normandy. He was 9 years old doing SAT practice problems while other kids were riding bikes. And I told myself a story. I told myself, when Daniel gets into a good college, he'll understand. When he gets a good job, he'll thank me. When he is successful, he will look back and say, "My father was hard on me because he loved me." I know what you're saying inside your head right now. That's just strict parenting. Lots of parents do that. You're right, but I wasn't strict. I was relentless. Let me tell you what relentless looks like. When Daniel was 14, he made the junior varsity basketball team. He came home with the jersey in his hands, holding it up like a trophy, smiling wider than I had ever seen him smile. That jersey was red and white, number 12. I remember the number, and I said, "Basketball is not going to get you into Stanford." He put the jersey down on the kitchen table. He didn't argue. He never argued. He just went to his room. I heard the door close. He quit the team the next day. But that wasn't the hardest pill to swallow. When Daniel was 16, he wrote a short story for his English class. His teacher, a woman named Mrs. Douglas, she called our house on the landline to tell us that Daniel's writing was exceptional. She used that word, exceptional. She said he had a gift, and she wanted to recommend him for a creative writing summer program at UCLA. I thanked her politely. I hung up the phone, and I never told Daniel about that call, because writers don't make money. Engineers make money. Doctors make money. Writers end up teaching English to other people's children for $40,000 a year. That's what I believed. That was my operating system. Everything ran through one filter. Will this make my son financially secure? If the answer was no, it was eliminated immediately, without discussion. And then came the day I couldn't ignore it anymore. Daniel got into UC Berkeley, electrical engineering, full ride scholarship. I cried. I actually cried, standing in the kitchen, holding that acceptance letter like it was made of gold. Sonny and I held each other, and we wept because we thought we did it. The rocket worked. Our son was going to have the life we never had. He graduated top of his class in 2001. He got a job at a semiconductor company in San Jose, then another job, then a startup, then another startup. By 2010, he was a vice president at a tech company. By 2015, he had founded his own firm. By 2019, his company was valued at something like $90 million. My son, the boy from Unit 4B on Vermont Avenue, the boy who ate rice and kimchi for dinner every night because we couldn't afford anything else, was worth more money than everyone on our old block combined. And he stopped calling. First it was every month, then every few months, then holidays only, then not even holidays. I called him on his birthday in 2018. August 14th, he picked up. We talked for 4 minutes. 4 minutes. I counted. He said he was busy. He said he'd call back. He didn't. Christmas 2018, nothing. No call, no visit. I sat at the kitchen table, a bigger kitchen now, a nicer apartment, the one he helped us move into in 2012, and I ate dinner alone because she had already been gone for 2 years by then. Pancreatic cancer. She passed in 2016. Daniel came to the funeral. He sat in the front row. He didn't cry. He shook my hand afterward, like I was a business associate. He shook my hand at his mother's funeral. That's when I should have known, but I still didn't understand. I thought he was being strong. I thought he inherited my discipline. It took me 3 more years to realize he wasn't being strong. He was being finished. He was done with me. He had already left emotionally years before his mother died. I know some of you are thinking, just go talk to him. Show up at his office. Write him a letter. I tried all of it. In 2020, I wrote him a letter. 6 pages. I told him about the dry cleaner, about the $400, about his mother scrubbing that counter every single day, about everything we sacrificed. I mailed it to his office with a return receipt. The receipt came back signed, not by Daniel, by someone named Jay Torres, his assistant. He never responded. In 2022, my neighbor's grandson, a boy named Kevin, maybe 22, 23, he helped me find Daniel's company on the internet. I saw a video of my son giving a speech at some technology conference. A big room, thousands of people. He was wearing a beautiful suit, perfect hair, confident, funny, even. He made the audience laugh. He made a joke about growing up poor and using it as motivation. That's what he called it. Not trauma, not pain, motivation. And I watched that video 7 times, sitting in my chair, in my apartment, alone. I realized something on the 7th time through. Daniel wasn't angry at me. That would have been easier. Anger means there's still a connection. Anger means you still care enough to feel something. Daniel was indifferent. He had simply moved on. I was not a wound in his life. I was a chapter he closed. And here's the part that haunts me to this day. I achieved exactly what I set out to achieve. I wanted my son to be tough. He's tough. I wanted him to be disciplined. He's the most disciplined person I've ever seen. I wanted him to value success above everything. He does, above everything, including me. I built the machine I designed. I just didn't realize I was building it to walk away from me. Now, before you close this and go back to scrolling through your phone, let me ask you a question. What are you pushing your children to become? And when they become it, will they still want you in the room? Because I'll tell you something that took me 74 years and one destroyed relationship to understand. Your children don't remember the grades you demanded. They don't remember the tutoring sessions or the extra homework or the college you picked for them. They remember the basketball jersey you made them put down. They remember the phone call you never told them about. They remember every single time you chose their resume over their happiness. I have a friend, a man named Guawei. He's 79, practically ancient compared to me. He did the same thing I did. Pushed his daughter into medical school. She's a surgeon now, makes more money than both of us ever dreamed of. She calls him every Sunday. She brings her children to visit him once a month. You know what the difference was? I asked him once. I said, "Go, what did you do that I didn't?" He looked at me and said, "I went to her dance recitals, park, all of them, even the terrible ones. That was it. That was the whole difference. He pushed her, and he showed up. He demanded excellence, and he clapped when she did something that had nothing to do with excellence. I only knew how to push. I never learned how to clap. Don't be me. I still wake up every morning at 5:30. Old habit from the dry cleaner days. I still make my own coffee. No machine, just a kettle and a filter, the way Sonny taught me. I still read the Korean newspaper, even though half the words are blurry now, because I'm too stubborn to update my prescription. I still iron my own shirts, even though there's nobody to see me wear them. And every single morning, I look out my window toward downtown, toward that building on the 32nd floor, and I wonder what Daniel is doing right now. If he ate breakfast, if he slept well, if he ever thinks about Unit 4B, about the brown carpet, about his mother, about me. The biggest lie I ever believed was that love and pressure are the same thing. They're not. Pressure is what you apply to a machine to make it perform. Love is what you give a person so they know they're more than their performance. I gave my son pressure. I forgot to give him love. And now I have a millionaire for a son and an empty apartment for a home. If you have children, put the phone down right now. Go find them. Don't ask about their grades. Don't ask about their job. Don't ask about their plans. Ask them what made them laugh today. Ask them what they are afraid of. Ask them if they're happy. And if they show you a basketball jersey, for God's sake, tell them it looks wonderful. If this hit you where it needed to, share this with someone who needs to hear it. Leave me a comment and subscribe, because I have more things to say, and I'm 74. I don't have forever.